Hi guys, it's Sam here with Bargain.hunting.blonde, and today I am bringing to you a video about how to build a relationship with a sales associate and then the perks that you can get from having a relationship with a sales associate, which includes in this video a little reveal of something that I did get on sale thanks to my relationship with one of my sales associates at Saks. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. So building a relationship with a sales associate. Tip number one, and I think this is the biggest one, and we all need to remember this, is that they are one person, they are a person, and they're working. So it's very nice to be kind to them. Like, you must remember that these are people, they're doing their jobs, they're helping a lot of people, so being rude to them does not help, does not go a long way with them at all. I mean, they'll remember you and not in a good way. And you want them to remember you in a good way so that when they see something in your size, especially if it's on sale, they tell you about it. So saying please and thank you goes a really long way. Understanding that they're not going to be able to respond to your text or your DM or your phone call right away is really important. They are one person working, and we need to remember to be kind to them, which especially during sales season, I think a lot of people forget because they're just so gung-ho about getting the best deals. Number two is do not waste their time. So there is nothing wrong with asking questions about an item. If you're trying to figure out what it's made of, what sizes it comes in, what colors it comes in, all of that, totally fine. Feel free to message them that sort of information. But if you're messaging them questions all the time constantly and then never buying anything, never, saying thanks, but that's not going to work for me, and just ghosting them, that is not the way to build a relationship with a sales associate. Like I said, they're helping lots of people. This is their job, and so that's very frustrating. They're definitely happy to answer your questions, but you just have to understand that, if you're just constantly asking questions and just ghosting them and never saying, oh, I'm not interested in that, or oh, that won't work for me, that is not helpful. And there's nothing wrong with asking questions and saying, oh, I actually need a size, 42 and the brand doesn't even make it, or oh, I thought that was this kind of leather, that's not going to work for me. There's nothing wrong with that, but you should let them know and not just leave them on the hook. So that's number two. Number three is tag them if they're okay with it. Of course, ask them, but tag them when you get items from them. I know a lot of sales associates I have worked with, they appreciate that because that brings in other clientele for them, because they see oh, look, this SA was able to get Sam a great deal, maybe they can help me, or this SA helped Sam locate a really hard to find piece, maybe they can help me. So of course, check with them first, but all the sales associates I have worked with really appreciate that. They also appreciate referrals. So I'll have people who will DM me, or friends will ask me questions oh, where'd you get that? And be oh, such and such from Neiman's helped me get it. Let me put you in contact with them. It not only reflects positively on you, but it also helps them build another relationship and be able to get another client. So definitely referrals, tagging them, showing them how appreciative you are of the item they were able to get you is really, really helpful. And then lastly, and I think this cannot, be overemphasized, honestly, especially if you guys have seen any of the kind of videos and discussions that have been happening in the Luxe community, is please be professional. This is their job. They are not your friend. They're your friend in the sense that, of course, they're going to talk to you. They'll be nice to you. They'll wish you happy birthday if they know it, stuff like that. But they are not your best buddy who you are sharing TMI moments with. They are not someone who is your best friend you've known since you were 5. They are a professional. This is their job. So keep it professional. Nothing wrong with saying oh, I'm picking this up for my birthday, or, this is a present for my husband. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you start going into really personal details and constantly bothering them about that, that is going to kind of create a weird strain. And there is a line. This is their job, and you shouldn't be crossing it. Think about, would you talk about this with a coworker? If not, then I probably wouldn't bring it up to your SA. It's not the time or the place. And some people do have very, very close relationships with their sales associates, but I would say in general, most people don't. And I don't think sales associates are really looking for that. I don't think that is necessarily going to make you get some really hard to find piece over someone else. So definitely something to keep in mind. Now, perks of having a sales associate. Number one is you get access to pre-orders. I know brands like Chanel have said they're not doing pre-orders, but as I have seen with 21A and the pieces I have been able to acquire, that is not true. They are definitely doing pre-orders, especially through a lot of the department stores. So you'll get access to pre-orders. 2, especially when it comes to Chanel, you'll get access to sale items. This past sale that just happened in the end of May, beginning of June for Chanel items, a lot of SAs were limiting it to people who had purchased from them before or were known clients, or at least giving preference to those people. So that is why you want to start building that relationship with a sales associate. And there is nothing wrong with being someone who buys from a sales associate when it's just sale time, but they do have a tendency to remember you more when you are buying from them. Not even, it doesn't even need to be constantly, just, a couple times a year, or, contacting them, seeing if they have an item before you buy it somewhere else a couple times a year, something like that. Just when you are thinking of buying something and you could purchase it online or you could purchase it through a sales associate. I know sales associates really appreciate when you go to them because they do a lot of times work on commission, and if someone's been helping me a lot, I would rather they get the commission than I just buy it on a website for no apparent reason. I'd rather help someone out a little bit there, and I know they really appreciate that. And then, when it comes sale time, you get access to the sales you really want, like Chanel, which, yes, Chanel does go on sale, not the handbags, the accessories such as the jewelry, the ready-to-wear, and the shoes go on sale. 3 is sales associates can help you with sizing and fit of an item, while if you're trying to buy from a reseller, they're not going to be able to do that. Resellers aren't going to want to tell you if it's going to fit you or not because they don't accept returns, but sales associates understand that, shoes fit differently, different brands fit differently, so they can help you and give you advice on what's going to fit you best. If you come to them and you're like, hey, I normally wear a Chanel ballet flat 41.5, do you think that the 41 in this shoe will fit me? And for example, the dad sandals run big, they'd be like, yeah, it probably will. Or if the shoe runs small, they'd be like, no, you really need to buy a 42 in this. So I really think that's something great to have, because we can't all have access to all these shops all the time. We don't have the ability to go try them on. Even if sometimes you go to the store to try it on, they don't have your size, or they don't carry that type of shoe, or they don't carry that brand. So it's just something to remember, is they can help you and they are a source of knowledge. So that is a great perk, especially if you're someone like me. I purchase a lot online, and so it's nice to be able to talk to my sales associate and be like, well, I wear this in this shoe and this in this shoe, and she'll be like, well, yeah, these run small, so go up. I love that. Super helpful. And 9 out of 10 times, they have had a ton of people who've tried this shoe on, so they're spot on with sizing. And lastly, which is 4, which I actually think is a really big deal, is you get so much better customer service when you have a relationship with a sales associate. So I know that I have just walked into many a Louis Vuitton, a Chanel, and Hermes and not really had a good experience or been completely ignored. And that's not an experience anyone wants. And it's nice when you have a sales associate, even if you don't actually meet them in person, who you can just text and be like, hey, can you help me find this? And then they go, they find it, they get it shipped to you. I mean, for example, I have bought Prada from Prada's website online, but when I bought Prada for my sales associate, I got this giant, beautiful bag, and I got all the box and everything. And sometimes when I buy Prada from the Prada website, I literally just get the bag and some tissue paper. It really depends on where it's coming from. So you get all these fun little extra perks. The customer service is so much better. And you don't have that awkward sales experience where you go into a boutique and they just straight up ignore you because they don't know who you are. You don't know anyone to say oh, can I talk to Melissa? You don't know that. And so you don't have that when you have a sales associate who or who, you have never met, but you text and purchase that way, or, DM, something like that. So building a relationship with a sales associate has a lot of perks. And like I said, one of the biggest ones is access to a lot of the pre-orders or the sales before everyone else has access to them, especially with the Chanel sale. Everything worth having sells out before it ever gets access to the public. And to actually get invited to shop at Chanel, the pre-sale, you have to be one of their big spender VIPs or have a really, really good sales associate relationship. So I don't, but I do have some good relationships with sales associates at Saks, Neiman's, Bergdorf's, and Bloomingdale's, and all of them do have, I should have included Nordstrom's in there if I didn't. All of them do have the ability and access to some Chanel sales stuff. Of course, a true Chanel SA is going to have them access to the most. But regardless, let me show you my find from this spring sale from Chanel. So it's a pair of shoes you guys can see in this Chanel box. So the retail on these was $725. And then here's my receipt. So I did get these from Saks, and I ended up paying $435. So let me see if I can, yeah, you guys can just see that right there. Yep, so that was great. And I did actually get these because my Saks SA was like, hey, we have these shoes in a 42. I know you're always looking for 42s because if any of you have big feet, you know that Chanel in the bigger sizes is really, really hard to find. And she was like, we do have these. Do you want any of them? And I actually wanted 2 pairs, but someone snagged the other pair quicker than me. So I only got 1. It is definitely a brutal world out there when you are buying Chanel sale stuff. And I did actually get the dust bags. Again, another perk is that these were, I could tell, put in after. I was like, oh, these shoes didn't have their Chanel dust bag, and my SA made sure I got 2 because she knows I like to keep them in their dust bag, and I like to keep them in their boxes. I also got the little like care cards that come with the shoes. So like when you are buying Chanel sales stuff and you have a good relationship, you are going to get like all the little stuff that comes with these shoes. And then these are the shoes I got, and I am holding them up by the bottom because like I have not worn them. They have not been worn. They are the Chanel espadrilles. They are a like knit, which is really fun for spring, summer. And then they do have in the patent leather, the CC on top. As you guys know, I'm not the biggest patent leather fan, but I'm okay with a little bit, especially because I loved that these were knit and then they did have the CC. So I have seen knit espadrilles before. I think they did them a couple seasons ago and they did not include the CC. And so I loved them, but like if I'm spending that much on Chanel shoes, like I want to know they're Chanel. So I was really happy when she was able to get these for me. As you can see, they have definitely not been worn, which is really great. And I was happy to get these at 40% off. So that is what the Chanel sale prices are, is 40% off. They will occasionally drop and like get even a bigger percentage off. But by that point, like nothing is left. And when you see them at 40% off, you just got to snag them. So very happy to get these espadrilles. This is my second pair of espadrilles, and actually both pairs of espadrilles I have purchased have been through the Chanel sale. The first one was from Neiman's, and then these were for Saks. So it is completely worth building a relationship with a sales associate, even if it's just a text DM relationship. That's actually my relationship with this Saks sales associate. She is based in Florida. I am definitely not in Florida, even though today I feel like it's hot and humid like I'm in Florida. But just she thought of me and I really appreciated it, and I was able to get them for a deal. So it's totally worth it, guys. I know at first it's kind of awkward to reach out to someone you don't know, but I would highly recommend. So if you like these sort of videos, please make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video, which is twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.